Should have made a song. I should have made a song. I'm not gonna be here all night. Or maybe I will. Who knows? Who cares? I don't know. Really haven't made a decision yet. I didn't really see anybody live. I was over there hanging out with Taz. Okay, Taz. Let me see what's going on. Let me make sure on my phone. Let's see. Because I don't really get notifications, but I did get a couple of I got a notification today on Taz. I was shocked. I was like, I haven't seen this in a while, but he told me he just got the channel back. I was like, oh snap. Um, yeah, I don't see nobody really live. If somebody's live um and I'm stepping on their toes, I don't know what to tell them. It wasn't intentional, but I'm gonna do what I do, whether people hear or not. Because I do want to talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. And I am going to be talking about the conversation we had a couple of days ago. Oh, or it may have been my last live. Okay. Where it got into the political realm. And I was talking to Mr. Kev and a few others, right? I think Aunt T was up here, Mr. Kev. And it's like the most ridiculous thing, It's always some black man. It's always some black man, baby. It's always some black man who just don't know what the fuck they talking about. But it don't matter because even when they know, when they find out that they're wrong, or they knew they were wrong the whole time, they was cutting off their nose, baby, in spite of their face. In order to harm someone else, they will be okay being harmed. And in this moment, we're gonna talk about these ICE agents. We're gonna talk about these immigration, and we're gonna also talk about when we talk about immigration, we got to talk about illegal immigration. A lot of people don't know. Hey, what's going on, Shaw Willie? A lot of people don't know that they're different. There's illegal and there's legal, right? There's illegal and there's legal. But under the current administration, he's not separating them. He's calling them illegals. Why? Because when we all hear illegals, most of us come to the same consensus that if you're illegally doing something, then you shouldn't be doing it. And see, that's the game, right? The game is everybody's gonna be like, yeah, nah, we don't want none of that illegal immigrations, right? We don't want them because this might be a possible reason why they snuck into this country, right? They might be bringing drugs over. They might come over to do some criminal activity just so they can end up going back wherever they're going. And all those things, right, that come to our minds. But we have an administration who makes all immigrants illegal. And that conversation seems to be confusing to a lot of these men. When they ask why. I hate when people ask me why would somebody do something as if there can always be an answer. Like I can just wake up and feel like committing a crime. I could be wealthy, right? Wealthy with all everything I need. I got enough money to buy whatever I need. But I might just wake up one day and want to commit a crime of like stealing out the store. And I steal out the store. I got caught red-handed. And then other people, in order to be on my side, would say, well, she got all that money. Why would she steal out the store, y'all? They'll be like, she didn't do that. She didn't do that because she's a billionaire. And the item she took was just worth like $3. So they must be setting her up. And the thing is that everything don't have a rational reasoning behind it. But when it comes to uneducated, stupid, who think they superior and want to break all kinds of laws, well, I don't even know why you would ask me. Why would they do it? Why would they do it? Now, even what they're doing is going to come back and bite them in the ass. And I said that, right? 4 years from now, if we get through it, right? They're going to be people going to jail. Okay. But they change the laws before your very eyes. And instead of you going and do your part as in voting to make sure they don't put in new laws that will prevent them from being punished later on, um, I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't vote. Or they just don't want to vote Democrat because they say the Democrats not even going to them a vote, don't want to pay them to vote, right? So why would I vote for somebody who's not going to pay me to vote? The luck of this country is not like other countries where they make you vote. But anyway, what's going on? Is it uh Lou? Damn, y'all be changing your name. The only reason I know I gotta know you because you gotta know what the hell's going on. I noticed that the other day they put at signs in front of everybody's names. I'm YouTube is tripping a lot too, because I don't is making these updates that look crazy. But anyway, how you doing? Is it Lou Stro? Lou Stro 40. How you doing? Nice to meet you. We're gonna have a good conversation. I'm gonna put the link up in a minute. I really wanted to put Mr. Cav's name in the title, but I didn't. I decided not to do that, right? I might have to call him though, because I need him to come up and explain himself. Now, let me tell you why, okay? Because before Trump got into office, right? I remember, he was going, it was Trump versus Kamala, right? Is that how you pronounce the name? Because I hate when I do that. I think it's Kamala. Kamala. Anyway, it was that, right? We know it was just last year, for those who forgot, almost a year ago now. Okay. Anyway, I remember um I was saying, hey, I will vote for Rock before I vote for Trump. I'm like, look, I am out. And I wasn't joking. If there was a rock on that ballot, if it was Trump versus that rock, I would have put in and voted for the rock. And that's on some real shit. And I stood by it. I stand by it. It feels good when you can stand on something. And here we go, damn near a year later. And everything we were saying was gonna happen is that absolutely was happening. Nothing of what he said was going to happen, though. Nothing Trump said he was going to do. Bring down the price of this, bring out the that, bring some jobs, do this and that and this. There's going to always be somebody who's going to benefit from the disaster, but most Americans is not going to benefit from what's going on. Most people, the largest employer, before I state this, I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to look it up. Now, it's something that I believe, but I never looked it up. So I'm going to share the screen and then we're going to go through it together because I could be wrong, right? I could literally be wrong. I am going to hit share sound just in case I end up using it. Let's go and grab any one of my. Okay, I need this for later because we're going to be talking about this. How we have some ICE agents who were illegals. We had some ICE agents who failed the test, who did this and did that. Like we're gonna talk about all of that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that. Anyway, I was having a discussion with other people on how to become sanctuary state. Like we have a lot of black men in particular, and some black women who really they admit they're not into politics. They don't know much. So anybody who admits, hey, I'm not really into politics, I'm just listening, um, cool, you get a pass. Except for when you go to vote, you should at least go and make sure that what you heard, that you believe, make sure it's true. Okay. So anyway, who is the largest? Wait, let me see. Hmm. Okay, I'm just checking because I believe that the largest employer in our country, the largest employer in our country is the federal government or the government as a whole, right? The government as a whole is the largest employer in the United States. Y'all understand that the government, the federal government, but I'm talking about the government as a whole, right? But we're going to break it down. If you talk about the local government, well, these are our government, they're going to be those who work at our social services building, at the people who, at the, when you go to get your driving license and things like that. In a lot of these cases where you go and get your social security, where you go in child protective services, where you it's a lot of areas, right? And then even if they themselves aren't the actual people doing the job, the government, they contract the jobs out. Y'all do understand that, right? So we got contractors who work for the federal or the government as a whole. So that means even if they aren't like they decided not to take care of all of that, but they contract that work out. So now they still the employers, right? They're the ones who paying. They're the ones who making sure that this company make hire people and take care of all of that. So that's the government, the federal government as well. So when we talk about taking away these jobs, they're gonna be, which I said last year, there will be a lot of people with no jobs. And they don't even know that they kind of work for the federal government, right? The way the government gets away with the subcontracting, because the federal government could, or the government could be the absolute employer, but we don't want them to be in control of everything, right? And they don't want to have to give those great benefits and things to everybody, right? So they absolutely save money when they get contractors or subcontractors to do a lot of the bulk of the work. And there go where somebody who worked in the industry, right, where you may work at the DMV, you may work at the DMV, but you're not a government worker. But it's obvious, well, may not be obvious to you that if the government lose all the money to hire the contractors or subcontractors, then you lose your job because literally you are uh, working for the government. You got a government job. Now, I don't know if the DMV is a government job or not, so don't quote me. I'm not saying that they are or aren't, but I do know that if they aren't government workers, then they are subcontractors to the government work. Okay. So I'm not sure which one, but I know that they connected. And so we have people who voted and they were like, yeah, take down the government from the inside out. Yeah, clean the swamp, drain the swamp, whatever, right? And they didn't understand that all of that work will include their jobs. So we have lots and lots of people who have lost their jobs, but they're going to be more to see. Like if the government themselves are really like, I could tell you, I can't remember which president was it under. Trying to think what president when they came up with this idea. This country used to be a fend for yourself, do everything yourself type of country. You know, uh, back then, I can see where people might think that was a better time. You was able to have your land because the government was giving it to you, so you could build on it, so you could make it workable, so they could then come in and take over, right? The people. That's why this country is about people, and those people happen to be all types of people from all over, immigrants. And I grew up always hearing since the day I can remember learning anything about America is that we are a melting pot. Melting pot. All our melting pot, the greatest melting pot, melting pot. And the reason why they had to work is because everybody were immigrants. Some was immigrated here, they immigrated here for a better life, right? For the chance at a better life or a better life, better whatever. And then others was, well, the African people who were brought here by force. Okay. Um, but we're a melting pot. But natives were the only ones. That's why they call them native to this land. And that didn't necessarily mean a color back then, right? Because there were black people here already. There was Latinos or Spanish or Mexican or whatever, right? People here already. When we do the background on Native Americans, and we talking about the Indians, that's what they used to call some of these people. I used to be confused about the natives and the Indians because back then they would make it seem like the Indians. But even when they mentioned the Indians, they were making it like a negative, right? I'm a Gen Xer, right? And so since I'm an Xer, like I was closer to a lot of this bullshit, right? A lot of racism, a lot of civil rights, right? All kinds of things because I was when we was getting out of those things, making a change to this country, I was right there. Some of you, if you're born in the 90s or even the goddamn 80s, like you're 20, 30, 40, 50 years behind. And so like in your conversations, you be acting like you know. I had a conversation on a panel today, and it's the most ridiculous. It was a great conversation. It's just that what people, what some people or one person was saying was like all falsehoods. But you won't even listen to the older people. Most of the older people, like when an older person is talking and I know they full of shit, and I get up there and I start asking them questions and giving pushback, and then everything about what they was saying changes, right? Because I'm gonna know that they talking shit. It's bullshit. I'm gonna know uh the things that they know, right? And then, but that'll happen to me as well because I could get on the phone with my aunts and uncles, and they'll give us even more history. The thing is, I'm smart enough not to be pushing back and telling them what it was instead of just asking them, right? Asking them. So somebody had mentioned that on the last panel. She had said that people voted for a known uh, white supremacist who was in the Klan so they can get civil rights passed. Now, the thing about that is that's so false, right? Because nobody black would have sat down with a known Klans person. Now, I inform her that what she's talking about, she was like, yeah, but he was a Klans person. I said, but back then they didn't know. Like, we have the ability to know some things now that they didn't have back then. Just like our children and grandchildren and great grandchildren will know shit about how fucked up this country is today. They're gonna know more about it then, in the future, than we can see with our own eyes. They got a lot, man. This time in history is gonna be in the history books. And hopefully it be something that says, hopefully it's something we get through and America still exists. But the truth is we on the cusp of this shit falling. And black people seem to be like, ah, oh well, America falls. And I'm thinking, but you are here in America. Like, do you have plans to go somewhere else where it's not gonna fall? Do you know what falling means? Like, what are you talking about? Are you even talking about what you're gonna do while they figure out putting the pieces back together? What you gonna do? So back to what I was saying, there was a time, listen, there was a time where there was no 8-hour work week day or 40-hour work week. There was times where there was no social security, there was no unemployment, there was none of that, right? So you had to go and get it. You had to go out and get it. You had to grow it yourself. There was a time when there was no stores to buy this, that, and other. People had gardens or farms or whatever, right? There was people with whole farms farming to live. The things we have today, most people in America never had. See, we are spoiled. We are spoiled, and people want to go back to that time because you think it was easier or funner or this or that. You complaining about a sign that has multicolors and tell kids they could be whatever they want to be. And for some reason with black people, you done turned that into the LGBT community. I'm like, I've always been told I could be whatever I want to be with through education. How far am I willing? Now, they also told me that I had to work twice as hard, sometimes three times as hard. I had to make sure that I'm clean. I got to make sure this, I got to make sure that. Now, I can't speak on everybody's behalf. I learned since where I thought was something that was what we did. I used to think that that's something everybody did. Then I got to where, oh, that's just the black people, what we do. But then I find out, well, no, that's not. It looked like that was black people who wasn't doing that. So I've learned, right? I've learned, and now I don't speak on behalf of everybody. I try to speak on behalf of me. I could speak on some things that's generational, but I realize that it most of us it's about where we're from, our community, how we was raised, who raised us, right? And the things that they believed in and didn't believe in. And the only thing that I find that might be across the board mostly might be this religion thing, right? Not what religion, but there's some type of belief system when it comes to a lot of households, which is not a bad thing necessarily, as long as it is there in place for a good reason. It's there to help you live your life and be kind to those who are at least kind to you at minimum. Right? Things that help guide you through your life that you deem to make you a good person. But then they got people who don't believe in goodness. Like I believe that the glass is half full, and there's other people who look at the same glass and they'll think, oh, that glass is half empty. That doesn't make them better or worse than I am. It just makes us different. We see the world different. And then you dig into why. Why do I think it's full? And I'm okay with what I got, right? I'm like, okay, that's what you're gonna give me. That's what I got to work with. Okay, cool. Let me go figure this out. When somebody else can look at the same thing and be like, oh, where's the rest? You know, why you give me so little? Why I want it full? And neither one is right nor wrong. It's just it does tell you about that person. A person who, like myself, who always heard you could do this, you could do that. You just got it takes hard work. Hey, make sure this, make sure that, and you should do well. Work for what you want. And then they got other people who believe, well, huh, work for what I want. Like they hadn't even been told that. They realized nobody gave them no encouragement of working to get what they want. And then so what is the best thing? If nobody told you you can work to get it and you want it, I guess you go take it. You figure out how to get it. We wasting all that brain power on how to get it, how to take it. You ain't even nobody even told you. Like you ain't even think, well, you could go and ask for it. Because maybe somebody will be willing to pour more into your glass. Nah, you feel like even if somebody offer you something, you feel like they must be out to get something in return, which is nothing wrong with that, right? What's wrong with you giving me and I'm giving you? We got a lot of people who don't want to give shit. They just and they wasn't told that, hey, you could catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Now, let's be clear. They got people who believe that vinegar is the best way. They think if you giving them honey for no reason, then you must be or something. So they are more in line with the vinegar, which means the person who insults them, the person who tell them they ain't shit, you ain't gonna never be shit. They got people who like that. They feel more comfortable with that because they call that person real. Oh, they say that person is real. Now I come in and I say, oh, you look good in that, in that shirt. That shirt brings out a color in you, you know, full of shit. I must be trying to get something from. Maybe I am, maybe a kind word. But you see, person who told them they ain't shit or didn't say shit to them, just ignored them, gave them the mug at them, that person is more real. That's what you see. They more real. I'm fake. I'm fake. Me being my real self is fake because they don't know what that look like. You know. Um, man, this conversation gonna go all over the place because I was talking about political, and then now I'm talking about people and the way they think, but it's really all connected. Because if you don't even know how to think, like if you already on the negative, you looking for the negative as positive, and you looking for the positive as negative, then that makes sense why it was so easy to go to Trump and to think that all the criminal shit that he's doing, it's easy to look at that and say, well, at least he real. At least at least he real. He just being upfront with it. And instead of thinking, well, what the fuck? What you mean he's real? He's a real criminal. People look at that like that's a like, well, he's the same side as the other coin because all of them criminals, and I'm like, well, it can't be the same if one of them is just bluntly in our fucking face and you accepting of it. What they know is that there gonna be a lot of people who accept it because we got a lot of people who think the same fucking way, right? You got the criminals who gonna be down for it, right? Why wouldn't they? They feeling, oh, that's how you go get it. And then they got the people law abiding and shit like that, just trying to do whatever they could do just to survive. They looking at this shit like, what the fuck? What, this is crazy. And then they got some people, they looking at everybody trying to figure out, well, and then they try to say, well, shit, this is a country built on crimes. So shit. And I'm thinking, you're not lying about that, but are you trying to just live your life short and in the moment? Or are you trying to live your life? You know what I mean? Because most of the time we know that things come a crashing down. Things come a crashing down. Example is now we know that some of these people belong to the Klan, right? Back then the Klan wasn't thought of as negative. People did it and they did it proudly. They just hid their face because they know, you know, they didn't want everybody to know. Uh, you know what I mean? They didn't want everybody to know. They thought it was cute to have them their head and face covered. Because they could have actually been your landlord who came, right? They can't really catch you and set you up like in the movie, right? What's the name of Sinners? Remember the guy sold them an area in which he knew he was gonna come back and kill all them black people. He set them up. He wouldn't have been able to do that if he would have just been openly the Klan. So that's the trickery, right? The trickery was so they can set it up so they can have fun. I got black people on this bitch who says things like, yeah, we should be enslaved again, but you don't know nothing about slavery. You wouldn't live one day as a slave back then. You wouldn't survive it. But you thinking it's all good because you think for some reason you're gonna be the specialty one. right? You're gonna be the special one. You're not looking long term, you're looking short term. And nothing wrong with that, I guess they say, right? You only live once, baby. And even if it's just for 10 more years, you good with it. And then they got those who want family though. Like they wanna grow to be older and watch their kids have kids who gonna become their grandkids. And then they even want to be here for their grandkids have kids. You know what I mean? Like I look forward to that. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I look forward to that. We got people on here, they thinking, nah, because you old. Like, and I'm thinking, but isn't that your goal? You one day gonna be old. Some of y'all watch you get old. Because you was surely 18, 19 on this bitch when you came, and now you're damn near 30 years old. And I promise you, when them 19, 18, 19 year comes on here and they talk to you like you old, yeah, you gonna feel some sort of way. What you know, old lady? Be like, I'm just 30. Yeah, you old as fuck. Cause 30 is old as hell to a 18-year-old. Like, think about that. 18 and 30, that's a long ways, baby. And when they coming to let you know that you old. And I can't wait. I mean, listen, I be thinking I'm waiting to hear when one of them, one of y'all start talking about how somebody called you old. You know? Keep it's gonna be funny. Because the thing is, 30 is not old. But to an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, even a 20-year-old, your ass is like historic. And as far as they're concerned, you don't even like, what are you talking about, old lady? You don't know what's going on out here. Yo, how you know what's going on in the club? I don't see no 30-year-olds in the club with me. Can't wait. But anyway, let's get back to the way people think and how it ends up harming them. Um, like people can think how they want to think. I think that's what's great about America. There's other countries where you don't get to think. Like, and if you do think, you bet not voice it. You might end up disappearing and be gone. And that's normal for that area. So everybody knows not to think. Everybody knows that even if they think, they bet not say it. And the thing is, you can't say it to nobody. I don't think we can imagine being Americans, how spoiled we are. Can you imagine being a young person and your mind is all over the place, right? You thinking of great ideas and all kinds of things that's just illegal in your country. You asking, right? You're asking your parents as you grow up, and they're telling you, no, no, no. They're telling you that you shouldn't think this way, think that way. But some kind of way your mind is you just a person who wondering. You're asking questions. You're in what's the word? Intuitive. You're always questioning. Now, if you don't learn to not question, then your ass not gonna survive. See, because after a certain age, if you ask a certain question, even to your family members inside of your home, they can report you or take you out themselves. See, that's literally in some of those Muslim families, they can literally say, I brought you into this world and I could take you out. And they do it and it's legal in their country. They even known as heroes. Like, oh, you had to eat your baby? Oh, something was wrong and you ate it? Okay. Even the families themselves might realize that I gotta eat my baby because my baby won't conform, right? My baby won't conform. And if my baby don't conform and go out into the world, then not only is my baby gonna be at risk, my baby gonna put my whole family at risk. So I gotta eat my baby. I gotta. See, they don't even have the option. It's not like you and your family could be behind closed doors having all these open ideas, these conversations about ideas and things that don't meet and fit into your religious beliefs and your beliefs of your country and thing. You can't do that because you will put everybody in your family at risk. They'll be out there stoning you, your wife, and the child. So in order, when you realize you can't control the thoughts and minds of this young person that's your child, you realize that you got to eat this child or send this child somewhere else and hope that they get there. Your child might be gay. The child may not even be gay, but look gay. He look a little too feminine. She look a little too unfeminine. And you like, oh my God, like what do I do? Because not only me and hubby, but our other children, the, our other children, grandchildren, and everybody gonna be harmed by this one person's actions. So I either have to, I gotta get them to safety, or I gotta get them out of here. Period. That's other countries. The ones who come up in my country, we believe this, we believe that. And then we start looking at it and be like, oh, that's cool. I'm not gonna mention no names, right? They come up and brag about their country and they like to brag. Now you gotta understand they bragging because they talking to us. They listening to us complain about this, that, and the third, about us having different ideas, different belief systems, right? So they come on and they brag that, well, everybody in my country, and and people be like, oh, that sounds good. And even I'd be like, oh, that sounds great, right? Because I don't want to shoot down his country, right? He's young. I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to shoot down his country. But then I start realizing, well, he's up here to kind of brag. He kind of up here to say, well, in my country it's better though, because in my country, and I'm thinking, like, he can't even get this off in other spaces, only in the black space. Only in the fucking black space do these motherfuckers come to make it seem like they shit so much better, but they shit is fucked up. He got to say what he said, because if he dared say anything other, then he wouldn't exist. You see, his own parents would take him out. They would eat him. Oh, but he's young. I've seen women from other countries have their head and all that shit fucking covered up, and you found them over there on OnlyFans, coming in our faces, and these niggas look at her, look how great she is. Oh, she's so respectable and everything, and then found her on OnlyFans, pussy wide open. So all you have to do, ladies, all we got to do is cover up our heads and shit, and get on these panels, and they'll treat us so well. No, not if you're black. Not if you're black. You got to be a non-black for that to work, right? That's what you got to be. Or you could be like, what a name over there? Crimson Cure, right? Crimson Cure, who called women all kinds of names, who out here dating and shit, and she's sharing a whole man. And I guess because God said that's the way to go, based on a man, then that's the way to go. So she's sharing a whole man or two or three, right? But she's respected because why? Why is she respected? They don't really respect her though, right? They ain't gonna have her back or nothing like that. They just like to listen to her tear down other women. And I've been good for 5 fucking years. I've been so motherfucking good, baby. I haven't destroyed none of these little whores. But see, the thing is, Ben Bomb is against women if she go after women, even when she goes after the men too. She goes after the men when she going after the men, and then she goes after women, and then some of these niggas gonna be like, look at her, she going after women. You motherfucker, right? I'm gonna go after who the fuck I want to go after. Because they going after women. 'Cause why they get to sit on the side and shred women to shreds, and I can't go over there and say, fight, bitch, fight. How did she get to fight? But if I go over there and say, well, I'm willing to fight you on behalf of the other women who ain't gonna give you the time of day because you ain't nobody, right? And when I say fight, I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about let's talk about what's really going on out here. So they can then tell me I'm older. Last night I was on a panel, right? I was on a panel. We were doing good. It was all good. It was good. And then I mentioned, because I be telling the truth, but they don't. I said something. I don't even know how I got there. I didn't bring it there. I promise. But it got brought up about selling bath water and shit like that. And I was like, yeah, I done all that, right? I sold bath water and all that shit, right? Anyway, somebody said, well, I had said that I was in the tub, took the bath, and then scooped it out, so they could know that it's bath water. And she said, well, back then, something about the view would have been grainy or something like that and shit. Now, I'm gonna tell you, baby. Like the fucking sideways fucking comments that come from these women is fucking ridiculous, right? The women who have a man or don't have a man, but I'm quite sure I can get your man to want my bathwater. Like today, the idea that they're like, oh, that was so long ago. I'm like, and I caught that. Like, what the fuck? See, and that's what the thing is, right? The idea that for some reason that they assume that that could never happen today. You got more men who follow me today than they have following them today. And I'm like, no, it wasn't that long ago. Like, because they'll make it seem like it's 20 years, whatever. I stopped getting on camera officially in my shower when my grandson was born. Like, I decided, okay, I got a grandson. Like, to me, that's valid, you know. Grandson, I want to be a grandmother. Now I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. It's difficult, right? Because the truth is, I know like I can make money doing what I do. What I do good, what I do well. I have fun doing it. It kept me in shape to be dancing and all of that. Like for real, right? I became a grandmother and I tried to become a grandmother mentally. It's hard to, but this what I want to do, right? Because I'm thinking that's best. And there's reasons for that, right? Because he's my grandson. He has a mother. So I don't get to say how he's raised necessarily. I just get to participate in the raising of my grandson with the approval of his parents. So I wouldn't want nobody coming asking me, is it okay for this, that, and third? Uh, you know what I mean? So I want to have my grandson. I want to be actively in his life. And therefore, there's a lot of things I won't do simply because of him. Simply because of him. On some real shit, that when he, everything I don't do anymore is because of my grandson. Okay. I want him to be able to just open that goddamn door when he want to, when he's here. He knocks, he do a little, and then he open. I'm okay with it. If I don't want him to come in, I would have it locked. And I don't want to have my grandson locked out. The only time we're gonna lock that door is when me and hubby in here. Hubby locks the door. Hubby likes as soon as he walks in, he likes to lock the door. And I get mad when somebody come and knock, and I'll be like, "Come in," and they be like, "It's locked." And I gotta get up and go and unlock it. I'll be like, "I don't know why your dad locked the door. I don't know why Pop locked the door. You know why Pop locked the door, but I can't tell my grandson that." Okay. Anyway, I listen. I'm at another crossroad where I want to I decide I'm trying to figure out, do I want to be on YouTube? And if I do, like, do I like when my grandson, he's in school now, right? I used to have him every day, damn here. Well, every 2 days. Y'all know how it went, right? Every 2 days. And so I don't do it here. Even if I did have him every 2 days now, which we have him 4 days on, 3 days off, something like that, right? He's in school. It's not like I have him all day. I used to have him, when we had him like all day, right? He wasn't in school. He never went to daycare ever. Okay. His family took care of him. So he know he's loved and he could deal with other people. He could go around other people. I just teach him how to play with, be fair with other people. So he don't always want to win. It's okay to lose, as long as you're having fun. But he's in school now. So even when he's here for them 4 days on and 3 days off, right? Does that equal right for? Yeah, okay. um, when he's here like that, he's only here doing he's not here during the day. He does school. Okay. So then now I have more time to be me and decide, okay, like, do I still want to act like the grandma all day, even when I ain't got to be the grandma? And how far do I want to take this? How is it affecting me? Is it affecting me to not be me? And it does. I realize it affects me not to be me. It should affect you not to be you, right? Um, and like, I could go somewhere else and be me than you two, because I'm gonna be me. And wherever I go, me, I'm good enough, right? I'm good enough. I attract people. We'll have conversations, or I'll just beat the shit out of them with verbal words or whatever, right? We spar back and forth. Nothing wrong with that. I'm okay with people roasting me. I never had no problem. That shit funny. I'm gonna laugh at the shit, just like everybody else, because I understand. But my generation, that's what we did. So maybe that's why. Um, and yeah, maybe that's why. Today, it seems like if you crack a joke at somebody, they're willing to shoot you up and shit. And I'm thinking, hell, you can't handle words, and we know you can't handle nothing. Like you can't even handle words. But to be honest, I have always been that person who would get on. Like I would literally go up when I hear people talking about women. Like I've done it. That's why these men in the manosphere know me. I used to get on their motherfucking panels in French maid outfits, shaking my ass while they talking about women who shaking their ass. It's so terrible. So this, I get up there and do the same thing, and then everybody start wanting to follow me. That was a point I was proving, right? I'm proving the point that first of all, they'll lie to claim they don't like big girls, right? When the truth is they love them some curvy girls. They're gonna be a few men who honestly only like a certain type of woman, right? Most men like all types of women, right? Now they when we start talking about the super size and all that shit, that's when people really want to go like real wild with it. Like when I tell people I weigh 666 pounds. Now, isn't it weird that it's all three numbers the same and all of them happen to be six? They all happen to be sixes. But I don't give a fuck if you think I'm 888 pounds. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm 66 pounds, bitch. I don't give no fucks. I'm me and me, I'm who I am. And see, that's what we have. We have a lot of problems with this goddamn society right now. Be who you be. But if you think you need to change, then you change it. Don't do it because other people think you need to change. Because see, they're gonna be always somebody who think you need to change. Even if they don't think you need to be changed, they will tell you you need to change. But look, if you need to change, if you, for some reason, something you're doing or not doing is stopping you from greatness, then change at your own pace, and then you'll be more happy and more successful at it. If you're trying to lose weight, you ain't gonna lose 100 pounds in a week. No month. It may take you a whole fucking year to lose 100 pounds. But if you pressured and thinking, oh, it's not coming off fast enough, you're only losing 2 pounds a week. Well, you got to add that up. 2 pounds a week ends up being 100 pounds in a year. Like, what? You angry that you only lost 2 pounds in a week? It's continue losing your 2 pounds every week. But if you looking at it the opposite way, where it's not quick enough, is the glass is not full enough, and you're gonna give up. You're gonna say, well, damn, all I lost, all that work, all I lost was 2 pounds. You're gonna want to give up. Instead of saying, well, damn, that 2 pounds, God, I did a great job. You see? Goes back to that glass half full, glass half empty shit. See? It always comes back. You might have to keep up with me because I be all over the place, but I promise you it all blends in, it all equals, it comes together. Full circle. Well, I wouldn't say it full circle. It might be loopy, lots of loops in my goddamn conversation, but it will connect in the end. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, so this conversation about spiting your nose, right? Cutting off your nose in spite of your face. You will be willing to cut your nose off as long as they get hurt. But you notice that you are hurt also because you lost a part of your body. You bleeding, possibly to death. You're gonna look like a motherfucker with no nose, which is crazy as hell. I'm not sure if you ever seen that before. And just because of wanting to hurt others. Others who didn't harm you, just because they saying shit. Now, I like the enemy who talk only than the enemy who possibly talk and take action. You know, um, I don't know. It seems like we as black people, right? Now I'm talking on behalf of black people because back in this politics, on because they got some of y'all who just think of black people and you think, what is it doing for us? And I'm like, what is a us? Like what like we can't even come together on agreeing to this, that, and third, which is not necessarily bad because you in one area of the country, you may require things different than another person in another part of the country. So if we trying to look at it like us all coming together, there is no us all coming together. That's ridiculous within itself. It was never believed that way. That's why civil rights was about people, right? Wasn't about black people. But some kind of way we got black people making it seem like civil rights only belong to you. And that's what make you a stupid motherfucker, right? You're stupid. Civil rights didn't belong to you. Go and read what civil rights is about. It's about equality. It's about people being able to have the civil rights, the rights to the Constitution. So when people say, well, white women got involved for feminism, and we're like, yeah, because they're people. Oh, brown people got involved, the Asians got involved, yeah, because they're people. Civil rights, rights for people. Then we got different civil rights bills, different years. But we always seem to be focusing on the 68. Is it 67? Civil rights of 68, I think. 68. Um and yeah, so we don't even know what words mean. We don't know what they're for. And then we heard something, and we think, okay, but see, I remembered a time, like I was born the end of 60s, so I'm a 70s baby, right? I'm growing up in the 70s. I'm seeing what's happening, what's not happening. I'm remembering things. I remember my dad pulling up to get some gas, but the line was long as hell. So something had happened where the lines were long. Like before that, you just pull up. It might be you and somebody else. And back then, they used to put the gas in for you, and they used to clean your windshield, and you used to just pay. You ain't have no credit cards, none of that. You gave them the cash, and if they had change to give you back, they gave it back to you. Back then, gas was a few cents. I think it was like 35 cents a gallon. Um, and yeah, I remember that. You can't fathom 35 cents a gallon of gas today, right? Um, but yeah, that really existed. Ooh, that really existed for real. There's a lot of us who living who remember that. So it's not like a lie. And you know, I'm from an area where, man, if we talk about racism, baby, we talk about the South, honey. Let me tell you, honey. I grew up thinking there was two people, and that was black and white, and that is it. When I got in the army, I started realizing, oh, we got more than just black and white people. You see, like I don't ever remember seeing no Asian person, but then again, I may have thought that they were just a black person, you know. In Louisiana, baby, we look all kinds of ways. So that wouldn't be, abnormal for me because I had never seen an Asian person except for on TV. And then even then I was young, so I didn't even really notice. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't taking notes that, oh, that's an Asian person. Oh, that's a black person. Wait, back in the day, you saw mostly motherfucking white people on TV. And if you saw a black person, then you were like, that's a black person. The first black person I really remember seeing be big on like commercials, that was OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson had this commercial where he was running through the airport and shit and jumping over shit and shit. And I noticed that because I was like, oh, I never seen, like a black person, like have the commercial the way he had it. He wasn't just appearing in it, which I don't even remember seeing black people in commercials a lot back then. But I didn't watch a lot of TV neither. So we got to don't go with what I say about when it comes to TV. Yeah, I'm an outside kid, outside through and through, all through my whole childhood. I was outside, baby. Okay, I was outside. Teenager, I was outside. I played sports. I went out. I went to teenage clubs. I had, you know what I mean? I was outside. I fished. I hunt. Ain't shit I didn't do. Uh, outside. There's a lot of shit I didn't do inside. The only thing that we did inside was come in, come in to eat, used the bathroom. Then our asses went back out. I didn't come from a family where we had to be outside. Okay. That on some real shit. My mom didn't tell us to go out until the daylight. She didn't tell us not to let her air out because we ain't had no goddamn air. We had fans, baby. The fans was in the window and the windows was open to bring in the fresh air from side in. That's the only way we was cool. So I didn't have in my actual family's house rules where you can't go out and in and out. We could go in and out as many times the fuck we wanted to. And but I did have family members and friends, like other family. If I was at one of my aunt's house, yeah, she'd be like, she had central air. Okay. She was like, hey, close that door. Stop running in and out. Stop letting my air out. I had another aunt, they had central air and shit, they didn't give a damn. We would sometimes have the door wide open, the air just pumping up. Okay. Um, so this belief that we all was raised the same is ridiculous. Okay, but we do know the rules. They got some rules that just was like a rule. Whether your family handled it that way or another family handled it that way. It was just something we've all heard of. Okay. Yeah, we had them goddamn rules. You could run in and out of my mama's house, my grandmother's house, as much as the hell we want to. Okay. Um, what else? Because it just amazes me. The conversation that you young people are having is actually hurtful to yourself. Like you're overthinking things. You're trying to be like psychiatrist on yourselves, which we know doesn't work. Right? I can't see all my flaws. I may do something, and people say, "Well, Bomb, that wasn't right." And then I think about it. I may think about it later on and shit, which I have. Right? Um, but we can never see it from because we got emotions and we all have emotions, right? I may have been mad or pissed off or whatever, right? In the moment to where I was like, fuck all that. But other people was able to see it, right? They come up, they talk to me about it. I still was like, fuck all that. But later, because I am a reasonable person, later I think about, well, maybe I was being a little too harsh. Maybe, maybe not. Then like, okay. I, I can say that maybe, okay? Maybe people shouldn't, you know, like don't be in the circles when don't like I feel like, hey, don't swing. Like I'm not going to swing at give me a boxer name, y'all. That Ali girl, that woman. I'm sorry. Oh Lord, let me clear that up. Okay, that's a grown ass woman who will lay my motherfucking ass out. And therefore I won't go in the ring with her and swing on her. I'm not even gonna go over there if she got a channel or a page. I'm not even going in that woman's area and call her a girl in with my tips. You understand? Well, I'm not built like that. Okay? I'm not built to be in that area to say something that will get her in a way where she might want to lay my big ass up. Okay? Now, I know I'm exaggerating the point, but the point is still the same, right? Um, don't swipe and swing at people who might knock you the fuck out. And I'm not talking about literally, right? I'm not talking about me putting my hands on nobody, and I'm not saying nobody put their hands on me. I'm just saying, honey, watch your motherfucking, and then everything will be cool. Okay? That's what I say. That's what I say. Like I can watch my mouth, you can watch your mouth. Now to be truthful, I'm only gonna watch my mouth with the people I want to watch my mouth with. And I'm gonna be reckless with my mouth with the ones I want to be reckless with. I told y'all everything goes through my head before it come out my mouth. That's why sometimes when you heard me apologize, before I even said what I was about to say, I ended up apologizing because I know went through my brain. It filtered. It was about to come out, and then I said, "Oh no, I let me backtrack." Now, see, the thing is, I realized that people see that's something that I do. I really do that in real time, in real, but people have used that against me, right? One time I apologized. It was mainly for my thoughts because the shit didn't come out my mouth, but I thought about it, baby. Ooh, I thought about it. It was about to come out, and I caught it right before it came out, right? And then I apologized for it because I'm really apologizing because I know that y'all know where I was going with it. I knew where I was going with it, and I didn't want to go there. I took the responsibility to apologize, not really for myself, but I was apologizing to the people who support me, right? To the people who support me. Because listen, I'm human. And if you don't think evil shit come through my mind sometimes, it does. And I don't really even consider it evil, but I would say, talking about kids when they're and stuff like that, that ain't necessarily right. Okay? Okay, cool. So, but I remember by me doing that video, they got up there and made like, yeah, she did talk about my kid because she apologized. I'm like, oh no, wait a minute. I didn't talk about your kid. The apology was for my peoples. And I said, because it didn't come out my mouth. I'm actually apologizing for even it crossing my motherfucking mind on that one. Now, on the one recently, right? I wasn't even saying nothing so terrible. It was the same shit I tell everybody, like, your mama should have taught you better. Your daddy should have taught you better. That's the kind of shit I was saying. It wasn't even bad. Like, I say that shit to people all the fucking time. But in the moment in which I was to say that, it came across, wait a minute, don't say that. And then before it came out, I was like, oh, no, let me take that back. That's wrong. Blah, 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 blah. That's how that shit happened. That's me telling me. See, I'm talking to y'all, but y'all know I'm really talking to myself, right? Because ain't nobody up here with my motherfucking ass. So I don't even know who listening. I don't even know if anybody listening because I haven't even come in the chat yet, right? But when I was saying what I was saying, it I realized I remembered something and I said, oh, no, I take that back. I apologize. That was wrong. Then that shit was used against me. Like, Mom, you did say this. Mom, you did say that. I'm like, no, I didn't. The fucking idea that I apologize for doing some shit that came across my mind that was about to come out or may have come out, but I right then and there put a stump on it. It should be kind of like over. But that's not what happens. Y'all see how people take something they consider to be a weakness and then they throw it back at you. Now I don't give a fuck because I'll catch it and throw that shit to the ground, stomp it out, and tell them fuck them, right? But I didn't do that. Now, what I noticed is that, I could be as respectful to people as I want to be, and then they'll come up and have conversations, and they'll disrespect me over and over again. Now, do I know that they know they disrespected me? Eh, I don't know. I would like to say that they don't know, but that would be me calling them stupid without me saying stupid, right? Calling them stupid. See, that's what I'm saying. Like words mean things, but actions mean more. So without me even using the word stupid, you could be literally fucking stupid, right? It's weird. It's weird that if I call it out, then it's bad. But if they acting it out, then I don't know what it is then. So what do I mean by that? Come up, have a conversation, and make it seem like I'm lower than, like, for some reason they can say some shit about me, but I just got to chew it up, eat it up, and just go along. Because if I say something about them, I'm wrong. Not that they're wrong, but I'm wrong. And then they'd be like, well, nah, I didn't go and talk to him. And I'm like, well, you ain't going to talk to him because that's the way like, it could end right there. But it's only going to get worse over here because, like, nobody, you can't control me. You can't control me. Hubby can't control me. The only person who seems to be able to really control me right now is my grandson. And he ain't even doing it actively. Like, he's not even announcing anything. I'm just not doing certain things for his well-being. You see? for what I think is his well-being. He kind of is a little controlling me, okay? And so I'm grown. And if it had been all of us up here and we all was talking about it, we probably would have got somewhere. But one person can't come up here and tell me what the fuck to do. Just me, right? I feel insulted. But I was like, okay, maybe they don't know they insulted me, or maybe they it's a power play, or and then you notice when I used the word, I forgot what the word was. I think it was I said something like that's something to do with it's not being true. I said something like that it was a lie. I don't think I used the word lie, but it was another word. And then that one word became the subject at the matter, right? Well, I don't like that that you use this word because I knew that. I'm like, so is the word okay? I could take that word back. Should I give it another word? And I was making a point, right? When I asked for a list of things I shouldn't say, right? Are you gonna provide me with a list of words that I shouldn't say? I was being facetious as fuck, right? I hope everybody understand that because I literally wasn't expecting a list of words. But if you're telling me I can't use this word or that word or this word, and these not even terrible words, like if it would have been some fuck you, kind of thing, then maybe I can understand, and it still wouldn't have stopped me. Still can't stop me from using those words. But I guess to a degree, I'm having a conversation, but I know that the conversation isn't, where they was thinking that some of us, because somebody else was up here too, was being accused of where we trying to flip things or switch things. See, that's what that person was doing, right? They was trying to meet a narrative or meet or get something. I'm just having the conversation as you rock. As you said, I'm giving pushback or agreeing. I wasn't trying to pigeonhole you anyway. I wasn't trying to lock you in a corner on no points, no nothing. I'm listening to what you're saying. But when they are trying to do that, that's when they assume other people are trying to do that. That goes back to that frame of mind with the glass is full or the glass is half, whether the glass is half empty or half full. See how I brought that back to it again? It's your weight frame of mind. And it's also projecting. It's called projection. It's like what you're doing in your life or in that moment, you pushing it. You also think other people are doing it, right? That's called projection. That's called projection. So I'm sitting up here having an actual conversation going based on words that you say. I'm not trying to spin it or nothing, but I'm accused of that, or somebody else was accused of that. And that tells me the frame of the mind of the person I'm talking to. You understand? They sometimes people not here to really have a conversation. They really here to make a point, which I understand because when I get on panels, I'm there to have the conversation and to make a point. Sometimes it just depends, right? Like I'm up here making a point. I'm up here, and there's a lot of points within this conversation that's gonna be made, baby. But the main ending, if you're wondering, well, what is Bob talking about? She's talking about frame of mind of individuals or all of us as humans, and how sometimes you can tell what a person's frame of mind is. And it's usually going to come out of their mouth if you give them enough talking time, right? Especially when you realize, okay, like I see you up here talking to me, and we up here for hours, and where's that person? And where's that conversation? Why isn't that person up here? If you Because me and you got an issue, you on here up on this person's regard, which I have no problem with. Like if I say I don't have no problem with you, I don't have no problem with you. That can mean many, 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 many things though, right? Because I don't have a problem with nobody. You see what I'm saying? Uh, I don't have no problem with nobody because I don't have problems like that, right? Um, So me saying I don't have no problem with you, it seems like it's just something that I say that people just like. But the truth is, it means nothing because I don't have problems with anybody. Like it really means it don't mean that I like you, dislike you, hate you. Like it don't mean shit to be honest. When I say like I really just mean the person come to mind and go just as quick as they come to mind and go. Like just as quick as me seeing them, I can say hi, and just as quick as they leave, it's like it's gone from my mind. Essentially, is what I'm saying or could be saying, or you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't have no problem with that person. You know what I mean? Like I don't have problem with people. I'm too grown. And what that means is like if I'm around somebody I don't fuck with, then I don't be around them, which means I don't have no problem with them. Y'all don't see me in areas with people I don't fuck with. And if I'm on a panel and somebody I don't fuck with up there, then you may know it or you may not, right? Because I can have a conversation, but it ain't gonna be nothing, no specialties about it. Ain't gonna be nothing that shows that, if they say something funny, I may laugh. If they say something mean, I may go after them, or I may ignore it. Look, I'm just there to have a conversation. This is the fucking internet. In real life, though, they wouldn't be in my presence and I wouldn't be in theirs. In real life, most of these motherfuckers would have never met me. You understand? I, I'm not in the circles of what motherfuckers who decide to go demon time. I'm not even I wouldn't be in the realm of motherfuckers, women who giving out 20 grand to no motherfucker because you know what I'm saying? Like, girl, you better keep that self to yourself because in person, honey, it would have to come out my mouth because it's so outrageous to me that a bitch is giving niggas money like that. It would be outrageous. I would have to sit down with you and act like I'm your whole grandma, your mama, your dad. I'll be all them motherfuckers in your family, you dumbass motherfucker. The fuck is going on with the women and the men today, baby? It's outrageous. It used to be a balance. See, the problem is these sweet ass, tutti fruity ass niggas and these strong ass, I want to be your boss, ass bitches, right? The problem is y'all are making everything all fucked up and unequal, right? It used to be like this thing where women and men, they would get men, women, trans women, gay, whatever humans, okay? When you get with the person that's right for you or you trying to get to know whatever, right? Y'all get on this balance beam and y'all balance that shit out to make that shit work. But now we got motherfuckers who willing to go and just be all unbalanced. We got this nigga who say I'm head of the household, even though he ain't making head of the household money. Okay, nigga, listen, you non-head of the household ass nigga. Stop trying to get bitches to lie on your behalf, nigga. Just be you and do better if you can. But this right there, that because you got a penis, make you more than her, nigga. You better go out there and make some fucking money and prove that you work more than her. We ain't no longer gonna be lying for your ass when you are being disrespectful. I have no problem. Let's say, and it's not true, but let's say I make more money than my husband, which I do not, because y'all know I don't work. Okay. Anyway, let's say I did. Never in this world would I be throwing that in his face. Never in this world would I be on the internet telling people, right? If I can't tell it to him, the fuck I look like telling others, right? Not if I want this relationship. And I wouldn't do that to somebody I love or even like a lot, right? Let's say I didn't love him, but I liked him a lot. I'm interested in him and all that, right? I wouldn't be sitting around. Me and hubby never spoke about none of that. Never happened. Never, right? There may have been times where I made more money than him. I don't even know. I don't even know. And it didn't matter, right? Because we're a family. I never looked at his check and compared it to mine. That's not what people really do. And even if let's say my check was bigger than his, you do know that he'd want to pay the insurance and all that shit that I ain't never had to pay for because of him. That means he make more money than me, but I may bring more money home than him. That could be. That ain't never. I don't know that. I have never had a check where I looked at his check and mine. In fact, I haven't seen a actual check in a very long time. But I used to get an actual check when my last job that I told you that I used to volunteer, and then she wanted to be more controlling, so she hired me. She used to send checks. You know, I never seen one of them checks. The check used to come to the house. Hubby would get it, put it in the bank. You know, people. I remember telling people that before, and they told me I was stupid. I remember telling people that I could buy what I want, but if it's over $100, I'm gonna call hubby to make sure it's good. You know, women tried to use that like, oh my God, you got a what? And I'm like, bitch, what is you talking about? They trying to embarrass me because I'm a consult with my motherfucking husband on something that's over $100. Bitch, we got bills, ho. What I look like being so selfish that I'm gonna go buy some shit that I don't need right then and there, if all in the, but we might have checks out there for rent or electric, water, garbage, our HOAPs. Girl, listen, they got so many bills out here. Car notes, car insurance, blah, 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 blah. Maybe the kids need something. Maybe we had to write a check for this, that, and third. Maybe somebody in the family needs something that we help for. Like it could be all kinds of shit. And bitch, if you think me consulting my motherfucking husband or anything is a problem. Fuck you, hoe. Fuck you, your mama, your daddy, and your grandpappy, bitch. And the idea that women are now making it seem like they ain't got to consult, but the man got to consult. Listen, we got to either be truthful or shut the whole fuck up because you're hurting others. You got to understand there's younger people listening, right? They're listening and they're trying to guide, they're trying to figure out how to guide this thing called life, right? But if they listen to a group of men say this and they are a man, then they're going to think, okay, that must be how it's done. And if they hear a group of women saying this and they are a woman, right? Then they're going to listen to what the women say, how it is done. We got a lot of people out here who they are lying or they just don't even have what they claim they have, period. And they are out here purposely ruining your lives. If you ask a young unmarried woman how to be single and have fun, and if she give it to you, cool. But you cannot ask her how to be married. And you shouldn't ask her how to be in relationships successfully that's long term if she's not in one. But she may have been in one before. She may have some to give you an offer, but you got to take it like a grain of salt. I'm not saying that you can't listen to people. What I'm saying is stop just following anybody just because. I was on a panel. Was that yesterday? Yes. And they was talking about something called the soft life. Now, I'm older and I've lived a life. And I'm gonna tell you, if y'all heard know my stories. My life was not boring at all, baby. Like I live life, baby. I listen, when I die, I'm gonna be like, I had fucking fun. You understand what I'm saying? And not only that, I'm gonna have my family right there with me. Not in the grave, okay? I'm talking about like surrounding me. I want to have I want to wish it could be a lot of grandkids, but it may be just one. I don't know, right? Because I don't know when my time coming. But what I'm saying is, what I did not do is I did not just sit in no motherfucking house listening to no internet people tell me how to live my life. And then I realized I ain't live my life. And now I'm sitting in this motherfucking bed and realizing I ain't do this, that, and the third shit that I wanted to do. Right? That no. Okay. So what I'm saying though, if you're gonna ask somebody about living fucking life, I'm not saying that you gotta live your life like I lived it. I ain't even gotta tell you how I lived it. I'm just telling you how to live it. Okay. I experienced all kinds of shit. Whether I experienced it by me physically experiencing it or me having my eyes on what I'm talking about. Seeing it for real, not on no TV. All this shit about watching TV, all these club movies and all that shit. Man, get the fuck out of here. Those are movies. People be like, it's a little bit of real life. Yeah, it's a little bit of real life mixed with a whole lot of bullshit too. Okay? Whole lot of bullshit. Because ain't no way in Player Club when that one with the blonde hair, when she walked up to me, bullying me, let's say I was the cousin. If I'm the cousin, ain't no motherfucking way that hoe is doing anything to me. I'll stab that bitch in her motherfucking left titty and deflated that hoe. Okay? Let's say I'm the other cousin, the one who had to go there and fight. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Uh Probably would have got double teamed, triple teamed in that bitch. Like the movie is just all kinds of crazy. Because in real life, it wouldn't have been just two people fighting. If I would have went in there and she got all her girls with her and her girls would have whipped my motherfucking ass. You understand? Remember, she had her cousin, her little cousin there with her with other women. They was grouped up in that bitch. How in the fuck I come there with just Jamie Foxx, sweet looking ass, tutti fruity looking nigga in that video, right? In that movie. And I'm gonna go walk in there and say, bitch, that's my cousin. Get your clothes on and come with me. And my cousin all fucked up and shit. And then I go in that bitch like I'm about to kick everybody ass. Ah, them hoes gonna stump me the fuck out. You better walk your ass in there and say, "Oh, is my little cousin in here? Oh, she is? Okay. Is it okay if I come in and get her? She called me. Okay, thank you." And I'm walk my ass in and I'm be like, come on, ho, you good? Let's get out of here. We gotta get the fuck out of here. And she all drunk and shit. I'm like, bitch, you better wake your ass up. Come on, we got to get the fuck out of here. And then as I'm leaving out, I'll be like, thank y'all. Y'all have fun. I'm gonna get the fuck out of there with my cousin. I may talk all that bullshit in the car with her, tell her how she put me in this predicament and shit, but I ain't gonna be in that bitch fighting with no hoe who got a whole crew of hoes with her. And listen, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally have been in a predicament, not like that, not with no fighting and shit with the women. And all of us would have stumped that hoe out. You understand what I'm saying? All of us. Oh, you come to get your little cousin? Your little cousin got fucked up on her own. Now, remember there was some situation that went down in there. So I'm not talking about that situation. I think her cousin messed with her or some shit like that. They were trying to cover that shit up. Now I'm not talking about that part because I didn't see that movie to know enough about that. But that's some fucked up shit. Don't be trying to say Bomb said it's okay. No, I'm not talking about that situation. Okay, let me come to the chat because I know there'll be some motherfuckers trying to switch up what I'm saying. But let me tell you, even if that shit, it would have been me and the motherfucking police, bitch. Okay? It would have been me and the motherfucking police. What's going on, Miss Sunkiss? Anytime I'm rushing through the airport, it's called let go. Yeah, I remember that. Listen, y'all, real life is not this TV shit. Don't think cause you saw it on TV, that's how shit go. It don't really go like that. Okay? She should have called the police and say, meet me here. My cousin, got harmed. Or otherwise, if you don't want to get the police involved, right? Cool. Because there might be reasons why you don't want to. Then you go in there, act like you got some sense, get your peoples out of there, and get the fuck on. Don't get stomped out. Don't get don't get stomped out. Okay. I'm going through all these movies and shit. I can't, the movie shit be confusing me because I'd be like, motherfuckers start talking about me. Anyway, they got this soft girl era, soft life. Like we just let idiots give us terms and then we run with it. Okay. So now they got this soft life, right? Now, what is a soft life? I don't know. Fuck. Like life is life. Life be life. And one day might be, you have a great day, and the next day you may not. Like I don't know with the soft life thing. And somebody when she explained it yesterday, she said, well, the soft life mean, that she getting prepared. She don't want to make a lot of money, or she not doing certain type of jobs. Now, in this society, in this world that we live in this country, you gonna got to get your job if you want to make some money, or you gonna get you a mate who gonna allow you not to have a job, which means he or she will work a lot. So this is the I didn't get to get into it the way I wanted because I don't have a certain amount of time. So I'm saying things real quick up there, right? If you pay attention, that's I usually talk fast because it's like there's a few people up there. I don't want to take all the time. But anyway, I'm talking about the soft life. And I'm like, well, there's no such thing as a soft life. And they're like, well, soft life gonna depend on individual. And I'm like, well, I guess you could call it what you want, but the word soft means, and I tell them what the word soft mean, right? Soft, comfortable. We could come up with all those easy terms. Easy is one, I guess, depending on how you're using it. And if we got people thinking that they failing because they can't get this soft life, then they then go into the reverse. If it ain't soft, then it's hard. You see what I'm saying? And that is the problem with them using terms the way they use it. And it's not for us older people or, those of us who know how to use common sense, but it's for we gotta when we think about in society, we think about the lowest form, the how should I say it? The uneducated of us, the the I don't know how to even put it, but when they write in books and directions, they go for the lowest form, right? As if you don't know nothing, and then they give you the instructions on how to do it from you not knowing anything. That's how instructions are written. So when I'm speaking, I'm trying to speak to those who may not have any how should I say it? Any experience in certain things. Like if I was teaching you how to sew, I'm a great teacher for teaching you how to sew, right? Especially if you're a beginner. But you wouldn't like my teaching style if you're not a beginner, because you would say that I'm going too much into detail. You see what I'm saying? But for the beginners, they would love it because they would learn everything, right? I'm explaining everything. I'm explaining why they do it this way and that way. But anyway, so let's go back to this word soft. For most of us as an adult, we kind of be like, oh, it's just a word and we can take it how we want. But think about a brand new 17-year-old trying to figure out how they're going to live their life, may not have too much of a uh, family that's helping them, in the world. We got a lot of people like that. I didn't know that at one time. We got a lot of people in foster care. They live in foster care. They live in group homes. Okay. So if they come out and they see about this soft life that they never had, but they want it, right? They want it. So they start listening to this group of women or men, whoever, talk about this soft life. They realize, well, damn, I got to work. I got to put in 40 hours a week. They never going to think they got a soft life because based on these other people, soft life means you ain't really got to work if you don't want to. You ain't got to do this if you don't want. Everything you do, you should be great at, or you should love doing it. There's millions of people who do jobs that they don't love to do. Everybody don't have the opportunity of doing a job that they love to do. You are lucky. Listen, you are lucky if you're able to do a job that you love to do and get paid nicely for it. Okay? You are very lucky. See, now there are some people who like they chose their field. They chose it. That's that's the good thing about education, right? You choose your route you want to take, you go and get the education, and then you go and do the job. We got a lot of people like that. Okay. But there's more people who didn't take that route than those who did. They got jobs where people fell into them. You know, how else would you end up at a McDonald's? Did you go to school? Did you go to college so you could be on flies at McDonald's? No. Somebody was looking for a job. McDonald's was hiring. And they said, bam, let me fill out this application. And now they got that goddamn job. Okay. And I'm not even hating on the people who work at McDonald's, by the way. Okay. But we do know, like, when I see the people working at McDonald's, I ain't gonna lie, it shocks me because it used to be teenagers. Used to be teenagers. Then I don't even see many teens in there anymore. I see a lot of like maybe they illegals. I don't even fucking know because they look like a lot of Spanish, Latino, whatever, and uh, and then elderly people. You know, I remember it being teenagers and elderly people. Now it's they don't even give the teens the jobs no more. But that could be just in my area, okay? Maybe that's just in my area. That's just in my area. So I can't speak for everybody area. But if I rolled up at a goddamn McDonald's right now, them some motherfucking other people in there, other brown people in that motherfucker, okay? Um when we kids though, right? When I was a teenager, well, my dad wouldn't let me work. And y'all, listen, I don't even understand, being an adult. Like my family needed me to work. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? Like it wasn't like we was wealthy at all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad his prideful ways. Um, I don't even know. I could look at it several kind of ways from my point of view today, and none of them will be good though. None of them will be good. You know what I mean? None of them would be good. It would still be his prideful ways. Because nothing would have been wrong with me working like everybody else for the summer. The kids worked in the summer for job, I forget what it's called, but I would have met the qualifications. I would have been working and like the other kids, and I would have been getting a paycheck like the other kids. But for some reason, my daddy thought we was too good, or I don't even know. I wish I could ask him that. Because ever since he passed away and I learned a few other things, it it could have been other things. Remember I told you I found out my dad was not so nice out in them goddamn streets. He could have been kind of keeping me protected because he was very protective of us. You know what I mean? Like people knew not to talk to us, not to deal with. Like maybe it was on some shit like that. I don't even know. I don't want to get into that because it's crazy when I start thinking with my adult brain, especially with the information I have today. You know what I mean? Man, I'm trying to tell you, baby, the things I learned about my daddy after he passed away from actual people that I know. Like, it's not like it was in the street talk. This come from family members. It come from my brother, my cousins, all the men who dealt with him and was around him. And I like, God damn. Anyway, I'm gonna put the link up in case somebody will come. I came on here to ramble. This is not against anyone. I'm not up here being against anyone in particular. I know I mentioned some situations that just happened, but I'm over that. And so I'm not here to egg that on or anything. I just wanted to talk about it. Remember this is YouTube shit. So it's not like I could call my sister or my friend and talk about no internet shit. Y'all got to understand that, right? So um yeah, if I call my friend and start talking about internet shit with him, he gonna be like, Vanya, what are you doing? That's what he called me. He called me Vanya, right? He don't want to hear none of this shit. Like it'd be to me, it'd be exciting, some of the stuff, some of the things that happened through the years. And he'd just be in awe. He'd be like, I don't even, at first I thought he would, because the stories sound interesting, some of the stories, but then he'd be like, this shit is messed up. Ain't nobody really living like that. I'm like, yeah, they do. Okay. I used to tell him about the Sasa Ray thing when that shit was popping off, man. Oh, Lord. And her story hasn't gotten any better. I don't even see when I go back. when I hear stories that was 10 years ago, right? I hear what people talking about and things like that. And then I go back, here he is, 10 years later, and go and look and see what's going on. Now, the truth is, I'm hoping for better, for improvement, for growth, for, you know what I mean? You look, that's what I look for because I know that I've grown. Like I always tell y'all how when I first came on here versus now, like many things have changed in my family. When I first came on here, both my parents was living. Here we are 10 years later, whatever, and both my parents passed away. And they just passed away 5 years ago. You know what I mean? Like 5 years ago. And I even see my own growth or what I learned. What what I call growth is what I learned. And what I learned, am I using it to my ability? Is it in my talking points? You know what I mean? Like my talking points have changed slightly. And some people may say it got worse, but it just got more truthful based on what I'm seeing and hearing, if that makes sense, right? Um, but there's certain people where there's no growth and no growth, things didn't get better is absolutely worse than it was, mainly because they have a child now, where they at first when they were living from hotel to hotel or in the extended stay, it was just them. Now they got an actual 7, 8 year old living in this extended stay, never had a home or stability, never. That is terrible. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people in that type of situation. I'm more feeling the child than the parent. And it's so much and it gives me perspective, right? It lets me know that I'm spoiled. Like when watching Americans, we are spoiled, y'all. Now, spoiling could be good and bad, right? It just depends on how you look at it. We are spoiled because even that person who don't have a job, can't keep a job even though they get one, just fake as fuck. Even they are still able to live. They didn't die from not having food and things like that, right? Because we live in a country that's gonna make sure they at least have a shelter over their head, even if it does include going from motel to motel. You see what I'm saying? They got help out there. They're gonna keep you sheltered if you want it. The people who not sheltered, like I think we call them unhomed now, okay, unhomed, unhoused or something like that. When they live in like on the street, is what that's because they want that. Okay. And there's many reasons why they could rather that than going to these shelters and things. Because shelters, that's not an easy living space if you like your freedom. Because remember, you can't live with other people and be free to do what the hell you want. You got the they got rules and regulations. You go in the shelter, you gotta be in at a particular time. You gotta be out at a particular time. You know what I mean? You got like there is no work around that type of shit. You gotta be there and you gotta get out. And you gotta be out all day. You don't get to sit around and watch TV, watch Mario on TV and Oprah on TV. No. You got to get your ass up. And if you got kids, they ain't playing with you because now they on your ass. They better the kids better be in school. They better not be missing no days. Oh, they gonna make sure you're doing it right. Everybody don't want to be right, but more importantly, everybody don't want to be controlled. And so that's when they'll rather sleep on the street, where they can drink if they wanna, smoke if they wanna. You can't even smoke a cigarette if you in the shelter. You understand? But if you on other shit, yeah, you better not come in there drunk. They see, let's say you decide you went to work, right? And then you went to a little bar afterwards, and then you came back to the shelter. You was there on time. But they smell that alcohol on you, they see that you're a little tipsy. Nah, your ass is out. You getting kicked. They may let you stay that night as long as you ain't got no issues, but you have broken one of their house rules and you getting out of there. There's a reason why They don't want your ass being drunk there because there's other people that you may put in harm's way. You see? So, yeah, but in this country, y'all, there are many ways to make sure that you have a roof over your head. Now, it may not be an actual apartment. You might literally have to stay in a motel, and the motels are not clean like that. Usually, motels they used to be so hot back in the day. Now the people didn't want to keep it up, and then that's when they started letting people live in them. Okay, um, yeah, that got to be hard, especially if you got grown kids. I watched a family here on YouTube, uh, where they was homeless. They was staying in a hotel. It wasn't even a bad hotel. They was actually in a hotel. I don't know what hotel they was in. I don't know if it was a hotel, but um, I didn't start watching it until they was out. Like when they bought the family an RV, which I thought I would recommend until she's more honest. They got an RV that they don't drive anywhere. So it's just in a park. And sometimes they got to go to the bathroom. They got to leave out their RV to go to the bathroom. So I don't know if RV is something I would live in, especially when I started doing the research. I remember wanting to get an RV and drive the country. And then I was thinking, well, maybe me and hubby could live in it, if it's big enough and everything. But then I don't think when we older, we gonna want to do the things you gotta do to really live there. Because they got this thing that's in there. So when you use the bathroom, it goes in this little thing, and you gotta pull that out and go and empty that out. So can you imagine having to handle your poop that way? But that's because we're Americans and we're spoiled. Okay. I bet you people in other countries wouldn't give a damn. They'll be like, oh hell yeah, that's all you gotta do. Pull it out and take it somewhere and discard it. You can do that all day. And here we as Americans, we'd be like, oh no, I don't even want to touch that thing. I don't even want to think about doing that. Oh my God, that's just way too much. See? That's what I mean by spoiled, right? When I tell people I lived in when my grandmother had our house. Now the house we ended up living in that my dad built up. When we first got there, they had an outhouse as well. Now her outhouse was clean, and but like me, and my mom, especially my mom, I guess I didn't have to go through a lot of things because my mom was a city girl, right? Remember I told you she Creole. My dad was Cajun, so my mom wasn't used to. My mom was not used to going to our house. Okay, my dad moved us here after he got shot, and the first thing my dad had to do to keep my mom was to build a bathroom. Okay. So that's the thing he did. He put a bathroom in it. Man, a bathroom sprung up in that house so goddamn quick. Never forget it. Which made me feel good too, right? Because see, I'm used to going to our house because when I had to stay the summers or weekends at my grandmother's house, which was right down the street from where we ended up moving to. So I always remember I told you I hated the outhouse. I hated it. And I used to ask my mom, like, Mom, if you ain't like this, why when we was children, you had no problem dropping us off, making us go through that shit for the whole summer or whatever, right? But as soon as we moved in that house, my dad popped up a bathroom. Before the bathroom got popped up though, we was using a bucket. A bucket, y'all, like an actual bucket. Now the difference between using the bucket at my grandmother's house and using the bucket when we moved back there, um, my daddy made a seat, like I don't well, he didn't make it, I think he bought it, like a toilet seat. So you could put the toilet seat on the bucket. So you could sit there and be at least comfortable. You ever sat on a bucket to use it? And that rain, that hard ass, it's a hard ass ring, baby. That's a hard ass ring. Now I know I'm talking this shit and we making it seem like this shit still don't exist. When you go out in a boat and your boat isn't like the boat that me and hubby have, we got a bathroom. We got an actual bathroom underneath, right? You walk underneath, there's a bathroom there. But we've been on some friends' boats Well, they don't have no bathroom. And what they pull out is a bucket. Okay. They pull out a bucket with a seat for the women. The men can do their thing right over the side of the boat. Or if they gotta do the number two, then they gotta sit on their goddamn bucket too. Okay, they gotta sit on that bucket. Okay. So listen, don't let these people who wealthy and shit be claiming when I'm well, the word wealth might be a little too extreme, right? But if they have been on a boat and shit out there and they go way out there and they on just regular nice sized boats, but they don't have no bathroom, they shitting on buckets too. Okay? They shitting on buckets too. Being messy as hell. But I ain't telling no lie though, baby. Hey, Lena. Lena gave me a cash app. Thank you for the cash app, Lena. I'm so sorry. Like my phone right here, but I don't get notifications. And I think that's the thing I gotta change too. Okay. Let me Lena. Lena always supporting the channel. Thank you. Okay. Let me give you a heart for that. Be wishing um Cash App will allow me to really reply. The only replies I have an option to do is like a thumbs up, a heart. What else? Well, I have already done it, so they won't tell me. But I wish I can text the people and say thank you for your support and things like that. Um, Also, somebody else had given support a couple of days ago, Sunday, whenever Sunday was. I wasn't live, but they still supported. I don't know if I want to call out their name. Yeah, Cola supported. She said that's for Leaky. Okay. Must be for his missing tooth. I was gonna put up a little thing so Leaky can get him something. His tooth came out. Originally I thought it had come out, but when it had done it, got loose and it was wiggled to the side. So it was a space, but the tooth hadn't come out. So the tooth came out I think this weekend. I got a picture of it whenever it came out. Look, everybody in the family got the picture of his tooth coming out. It was just so cute. Anyway, hey Moo, what's going on? I don't know. Is that Moo, or oh Moo, you changed your name? Okay, is that you? I gotta make sure that's you. Let me see. Go to chat. Okay, that is you. Okay, I, I thought I saw your name over there, but they was doing a debate. But I didn't think that was you because I was like, nah, this is a different Moo. Anyway, how you doing, Moo? Anyway, so what else I was saying? Because I got all over the place. I guess I'll put the link in. If somebody want to come up, they can come up. If not, then I'm gonna end it. But y'all understand, right? I'm expressing myself. Like I get on here a lot, and whatever comes across my mind, sometimes I come on and I speak about it. I can't, like I said, I cannot call my sister and be talking about it. She's not on the internet like that. I can't call my friend and talk about it because he'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about? Why you always talk about the internet?" Like if he called me, he gonna call me and tell me about his family, his son, right? Oh, his story is, ooh, Lord. Listen, he my friend. I can't be sharing his story, but he got a wild ass goddamn story. Okay, he needs to write a book about it, but he can't write the book right now. And yeah, he that's my friend, so I can't. But I'm telling you, he got one of them stories, baby. I could write that shit in a book, baby. I don't know if it would be so abnormal though, but it is. I guess knowing somebody personally, and then it comes with a lot of perspectives too, right? Because there's a lot of perspective. It's not always the men, sometimes it's not even always neither anybody's fault. Sometimes things are just the way it is. That's what I learned about life, right? Um, so without making talking about his story, okay, I'm not gonna talk about his story per se, right? We're not gonna make it his exact story. But imagine uh being married and okay, imagine when you got married. Before you got married, y'all made some agreements, right? You got married, you agreed, hey, I don't want no kids. And then he said, well, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with not having no kids. And then y'all get married, y'all living your life. You don't celebrate holidays, and y'all just living life, right? It- that's what it can be called sometimes, where you just living life. You married and you live together and you live in life. But what happens if 10 years later somebody want a kid? But the other person be like, well, I love you and everything, but I don't want to have no kids. Now you have a issue. Now some people make it seem easy, right? You thinking, well, since you agreed to this, then yeah, you agreed to that, and blah 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 blah. But it's not that simple, right? Because you agreed to it at a point where you was okay with it. But now here we are, you 10 years in, you 10 years older than you was, and you realize you would like to be a mother and or a father, right? You want to be a mother and a father. You're ready for it. And the other person's like, nah, but we had this deal, and the deal was we wasn't gonna do this. it I yes, an agreement was made, but we had a different position now. Whole different predicament in your life. Two people who together, and now they want two different things. And most people on the outside would make it seem like it's simple. You would say, well, I guess like whoever wants the child just can't have the child because the other person don't want the child. Or you might say, well, the one who wants the child, they should get the child. You know what I mean? Um, or people will say, well, you should just get a divorce. But all that shit, those are big differences, right? Different things. Why should you get divorced? And so, how do you work that out? And how you work it out is going to vary from person to person, situation to situation. And it's not always going to be what other on the outside going to agree with. Okay? Because suppose you decide that you want to be, let's say it's on the man's end. Because I know it's going to be different depending on who end is on, right? So let's say it's on the man end and he wants a child, she don't want the child. So he ends up getting somebody else pregnant. It looks bad. But, but is it? Like if the wife's not complaining about it, the wife is good with it, how is it bad? But other people looking in will like to judge it and make it seem like it's such a bad deal, right? If the wife's saying, okay, look, you did what you did, everything good, but I ain't got nothing to do with it. And yeah, I just keep me out of it. Just keep me all out of it. I don't want to hear nothing about it, nothing. Do what you do, right? So he's taking care of the kid, and but he ain't coming over. He making sure he's doing everything he do. Let's say it's that. Now let's put it on her. Let's say she want the kid, and he don't. The man don't. And some and he like, look, I don't want to be a dad, but they don't want to get a divorce. He's trying to use his power to say she can't have a child. But let's say she goes like the in the other situation, he went and got somebody to get pregnant. She goes and get pregnant for somebody else. See, the men look at that completely different than the other end. I think even the women could look at it differently. But how is it any different? Because the man could say, "Well, look, as long as you keep me out of it, I don't want to be known as the father." You know what I mean? We just gonna do what we do. But I guess it would be a little different if she got to take care of the child because she had the child. So I see where there's differences in that scenario. But he ain't got to be a dad. You see what I mean? Like he don't have to literally, if he don't want to participate in nothing at all. I don't know. I think it's it. Listen, I don't know how I would handle it if I would handle it if I don't know, right? But what I'm saying, they got a lot of situations like this out here. Okay. Where people agree to certain things at one point in their marriages, and then somebody may want to change it up later on. And it's not just necessarily with children, it could be many things. It could be where in the beginning they was in an open relationship and then somebody decided they want to close it. Or vice versa. They was in a closed relationship and then somebody decided later on they want to open it. Right. Somebody like myself, right, who wanted a lot of children and hubby got his way. But then I might say I want to be a foster parent. And he may not want to be a foster parent. The only reason I'm not a foster parent is because my children still live here. But I know damn well if my kids had moved out and I had them extra bedrooms, there would be some children running around this bitch, okay? Again, look, I there would be some children. I would be a foster parent in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, yes, I would. I would take in some kids and love on them and try to, I would definitely do that. Hubby would be against it, but he would go along with it for me. He'd go along with it. Uh, You know what I mean? Because one day he wouldn't have no choice. One day they'll just be here. One day, one day he'll come home from work and there'll be some kids here. And he'll be like, "Who are these kids?" I'll be like, "These are foster kids." I'm bold like that, bitch. I'm bold. Okay. I'm I'm bold like that. And the men be like, "Oh, she's so terrible. Oh, she won't listen to her husband." Yes, I do listen to my husband. Okay. I do. But I know my husband too, right? My husband is a good guy. He may say no because he's thinking of it from his perspective, but he also would look at it from my perspective. Okay. They wouldn't just appear, but he would sign the paperwork. Okay. He would just tell me it's on me. He'll be like, everything on you. Remember I told you I did that? We had some little girls living in our house for almost a whole summer. The only reason we don't still have them goddamn girls today is because the mama, when I tried to get them in school, the mama realized she would have lost her food stamps and welfare, right? Because because I had to get them in school. I was like, look, you ain't got to lose it. You just got to come with me and let's go use my address, right? So I can put the girls in school. One of them was school age. I was like, girl, I cannot have your kids in my house not going to school. I'm not going to prison behind your ass. Okay. And soon as she realized, because she was in a hotel. She was in a hotel, which she would have been able to do it, but she was scared she gonna lose shit. She gonna lose the assistance. Because they would have known they were living with me. See what I'm saying? They would have been knowing they living with me while she living in a hotel. And that's because of the paperwork and shit like that. And she couldn't use my address. Y'all listen. Not, when she was like, "Well, I could use your address that I stay here," I was like, "The hell you can? No, you can't. Motherfucker, be to kick me out my own house." You know what I'm saying? Do not put no strangers. Do not let anybody just be using your address, y'all. Don't do that. Them motherfuckers be if they live in certain areas, if they live there for 30 days, they could prove that they've been there for 30 days. Then you got to evict them. That bitch ain't never lived in my house. She be walking in with all her shit, claiming this is my address. Girl, you better get the hell up out this bitch. Okay. But no, I didn't even know this woman. I still don't know her name or nothing. I did not know her name. And she gave me her kids. Three little girls, but the baby was a baby, like an infant. And I was like, nah, hubby not gonna put up, he not gonna put up with this one, okay? I ain't gonna be able to pull his infant on him. So I called her, I said, look, the baby crying for you. I can't keep the baby, but I can keep the other two. And the other two, they were 3 and 5. The 5-year-old had just turned 5. 3 and 5-year-old little girls, y'all. They were so cute and everything, right? Which I think all little girls are cute, so that don't mean too much. But and hubby came home and it was there. He was like, "Who are these kids?" I said, "Oh, they just the neighbor kids. I'm just watching them." right? And then it got late at night. He said, when these kids go home? I said, I don't know. I said, but I got it. So hubby goes upstairs and go to sleep. When he wake up in the morning, them two little girls still there. Then he come home from work. He said, they still here? I said, yeah, they still here. I'm watching them. Them kids was there the whole summer. He, they ended up liking him and he liked them. Oh, it was just the cutest little thing ever. Like the 3-year old, she was smart in the mouth, but by the time she went back to her parents, she was, man, they just loved him. They they were so young that the smallest one was calling him dad, and he didn't like that. So I had to tell her, that's not your dad. That's Mr. Mark. Like he made, but she would jump on him and get in his lap and shit, right? Oh man. And I hated when she took him, but her because she wasn't in a situation to have no kids. But then her the dad's family in Florida came and got them. I haven't seen them since. They little women now. Um, yeah, they would. My kids were something like maybe 7 and 9, and they were 3 and 5. So 7. So yeah, the oldest probably about 26 now, 27, making the oldest about 25. Yeah. I should go look for them on Facebook, but I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Um, who else? And then we had them, and I feel like there was another time besides when the teenagers was always at my house. The only thing they couldn't do is they couldn't be runaways. Like the kids in the neighborhood, there's one, he ran away from home or left home and came by me. Now the problem is uh I talked to his grandmother, right? He was living with his grandmother. So I talked to her and she wanted me to send him back home. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him and then I'm gonna send him back home. But she was like, send him back home now. So I don't know what the situation was. I don't know why he left or anything. But he knew he could come talk to me and I would talk to her. Um, I need to go and check on them, you know. I like that family. I hope the grandmother's still, doing well. But like he put me in a bad predicament because I'm like I'm letting him. He's on the computer right now, just trying to calm him down. I don't know what took place. It's none of my business, right? It's their family business. So I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist, and I'm definitely not a social worker or nothing like that. I was just like somebody in the neighborhood that the kids like, and for some reason they would come to me. Okay, they would come to me, and but they can't be no runaways. I'm not putting up with none of it. Like, call your grandma, tell her where you at. Okay. if, call her, tell her where you at. Here you go. Here goes the phone. Call her, tell her where you at. And then she said, send him home. I'm like, okay, I'm just talking to him, but I'm gonna bring him around there. Um, I don't know, you know, it kind of put me in a predicament with the parents because then they realized that the kids are running to me. But I'm letting them know, look, I'm not getting in your business. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not asking them what's wrong as far as if once I find out it's family. I just want to make sure the kids are right, make sure, hey, you okay? Like, I'm about to bring him to you. You know what I mean? I'm about to bring him to you. Eh, anyway, I don't know. Time is it? It's about 10:30. Listen, y'all, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Um, I was thinking about staying up all night, but I do have a shirt to do. But I don't have the fabric, so I'm gonna go look up the fabrics I need to buy. I think she sent me a picture. Let me see. I did receive something. I just put my shirt in my bag to get my out of the autism patch. Size mom. Oh, okay. Let her know I got that. Okay. She said she called it autism patch. Okay. That's a good thing too. I could sell patches for people to put on their shirts. Um, okay, y'all, listen, I'm getting ready for the holidays and I got so many ideas of things to make. Um, and then because I got so many ideas, I can't make anything. You know what I mean? Like my mind is always running. And so then I got to calm my mind down by stop thinking of what to make. And then I start looking at YouTube videos to try to calm me down because I don't know. Like, and his medicine isn't working. So I think I have the appointment with him tomorrow, maybe. I don't know who my appointment with tomorrow. I just know it's a VA appointment. Okay. I don't know. I apparently I didn't write down. I thought I did, but I'm not sure. Let me. It says that it's all. I don't like the way. Maybe I'm not using it right. You know how you use your calendar to make your appointments, right? If I don't get a chance to put in notes, because if I put in a note, it changes the whole note. Like when I put in VA appointment, um, whatever I put in note will always be for my VA appointments. And I'm trying to change that. Maybe I need to start putting VA appointment in the particular doctor that I'm with. There's gonna be a FaceTime appointment. So yeah, that's what it says. I hope that's right. Because if that's wrong, I'm in trouble, baby. Okay. If I gotta go in, then shit, I'm gonna miss it. Uh Wait, I don't think wait, yeah, that might be. I don't know. Why are some of these things different colors? Oh, that's I don't know what the hell going on no more. Why that's purple? Why some of my appointments purple and some of them blue? And then I got these look like holidays or orange. Yeah, look like okay, so that's automatic. Why is some of my stuff purple though? Let me see why this purple. Work. Oh, I don't know why they said work. It must have did something. Anyway, I got to learn how to use this calendar correctly because I got too many appointments. I have a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist is at the VA, but the therapist is not at the VA. It's the weirdest thing. So my psychiatrist is at the actual VA hospital. The therapist is an outside doctor. I just started with her. I like her so far. Okay. I don't think I've ever met a therapist that I didn't like. Yes, I did. I had this man this one time, and man, I'm trying to tell you, yeah, I didn't like him. It's not that I didn't like him, but like when I would say things. Oh, and then when we went to that marriage counselor, that was a counselor. I don't know if counselor means the same thing as therapist. I'm not sure what the difference in a counselor and a therapist. He was a marriage counselor. And he definitely need to be a counselor and not a therapist. Because let me tell you something, baby. Uh, but he is the reason I'm still with hubby though. Okay. Uh, because that motherfucker looked at my husband and said, "Why do you want to be married to her again?" he, he looked at hubby. He was like, why would you want to be married to her? Like I didn't even know that could happen. I never seen that shit on TV. Bitch, I ain't never seen in TV where the therapist look at the look at one of the people and be like, why would you want to be with her? That's what that white man did to me. Like, would you want to be with her? Now, and my husband looked at him and said, you don't know her. You don't know anything about her. And I looked at my husband and fell in love all over again. Like, I was being mean though. Listen, I was purposely being mean on purpose. I wanted hubby to divorce me. Like I didn't want to divorce him. I wanted him to divorce me. So I went in there with the purpose of getting this man to do exactly what he did. But he did it. Maybe this man could be a genius, right? Maybe he knew what I was, because I may have told him. I think I may have said something like, you know, I keep telling him maybe we shouldn't be married. Maybe that's why he said, "Why would you want to be married to her?" I know I can laugh at that shit then. Back then, I was a little shocked that he said it, but I was kind of like, "Yeah, why would you want to be married to me?" Think I even said that. Think I even agreed, like, "Yeah, why would you want to be married to me?" And he told him he don't you don't know her. You don't know her at all. You don't know anything about her. And then hubby got up. He stood up and I stood up and we walked out of there together. And we ain't never go back neither. We ain't never go back. One appointment and everything was set up in that one appointment. That is a motherfucking genius. I need to give him a goddamn good review. Okay. Um I need to give him a good motherfucking review, baby. He did his thing. Okay. Y'all, I have a did I take that medicine? I did not. I took it out. See, I gotta I'm gonna take it though. Okay, listen, I have an appointment tomorrow. And then I know I have some other appointments. But I don't see them in my phone. I'm gonna have to go downstairs and get all the mail. Because when I don't put them in the phone, I miss them. Okay. And I'll be missing appointments, baby. I'm all the way to 2030. Let me tell you, my birthday in 2030 gonna fall on a wait, how old would I what this is? 20s. Lord, I'm gonna be old. Like I am now, older though. But on the 21st, y'all ever look into your calendar and see when your birthday is gonna fall on what year? It looks like I might have a psych appointment in November of 2030 on my birthday. I'm gonna have a psych appointment because I got it set up where it repeats every 2 weeks. Okay, every 2 weeks, and it also why did I say work? Oh, because it's my birthday. It's my birthday. I'm on my birthday. I'm gonna have an appointment. I think I had an appointment on my birthday last year as well. I think it was let's see, let's go to 2029 on my birthday. I have my appointment the next day in 2029 on the 22nd. And then in 2028, my birthday fall on a Tuesday, and my appointment is gonna be 2 days after that. In 2027, my birthday falls on a Sunday. Where is where is the holidays though? Like where is I see Veterans Day. Where is Halloween? Not Halloween, Thanksgiving. That's what I'm really looking for. Thanksgiving. It's not posted. Let me see. Let's go to 2026. 2026, November. Halloween is not here neither. I mean, Thanksgiving's not here. Wait, is that Thanksgiving? Oh, wait a minute. That is Thanksgiving. So 2026, my birthday is on a Saturday, and Thanksgiving is on the 26th, which is the following Thursday. Let's go back where I was. 2027. I'll be doing all my. I'm trying to find when my birthday gonna fall on Thanksgiving again. Uh, yeah. Okay, y'all, I'm out. Listen, have a good day. Um, if somebody goes live and it's interesting, let me know. Okay, y'all all share my number. Y'all can text me. And I'm looking for some. I'm looking for some chats where I can go and be, push back, be messy. It's kind of boring in this area because I tend to like people. So when I like people who panel I'm on, I no longer want to just start cussing, because I don't want to mess up the show. And so I've been trying to be really good, but I'm tired of being good. Okay. I want to go over there and tell somebody I want to kick them in their pussy. You know what I mean? Like I want to just have fun. And let me tell you, the sewing community, baby, they got them we got them white women over there shook. So I toned it down. I said, okay. And the black women be shook too. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with them. All that fake ass sewing shit they be doing. That should be pissing me off, okay? Some bitches be over there can't even sew. But it'd be the weirdest thing, the fakery that gets me. I ask you a question, like I'm up there to get some help, and she don't know. Like, lady, I've been watching you for 3 years. Then I realized I never seen her sew a thing. She just be talking about sewing. She claiming she sold some shit, but we don't never get to see what she sold. Okay. Um, I was so mad at that shit, but I was also not really mad. I just was being messy, right? I already knew that she wasn't sewing that shit already. Okay, I went out. She shouldn't have opened that goddamn panel that day. And then they got a few people on here I like, but they don't like me because like I be giving them tips on how to do it differently in the tip, and then they don't like that. Although they ask for people to give like if there's a better way I can do it. So I'm in the chat typing up whole paragraphs to explain what they could do, right? And they take that as me insulting them. That's crazy work. And then I start to insult them to show them what insults really look like. Like you raggedy bitch, I wasn't insulting you. It's just me insulting you now. And then they block me. Okay. I don't want to get blocked all over YouTube. You know what I mean? But then I can't be really messy. But I don't give a damn if they block me either, really. Okay. So I'm going back on my YouTube stalkerish uh mission on some real shit. I'm going all across YouTube to be messy as fuck. Except I'm not going in the beef in the black sector. But I'm supposed to be over there with the mode 3 sector. If anybody got a link so I could go tell on Ashton. And by the way, could have sworn I saw a title where Ashton went after Reese. And y'all know I must have was doing something that day. I think Leaky was here. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When Leaky here, I'm not probably gonna go live. Cause Leaky do not want me to be live. Okay. He wants to talk to me constantly. And therefore he gonna get what he wants. He said, look, I be sleep. He gets in the bed with me to show me him playing the video or him drawing or whatever. And I'd be laying there like, okay, like, and I'd be acting like I'm watching, but I'd be asleep. And then when he realized I'm asleep, he get out my bed and go in his room. That little boy wants to talk forever, nonstop. I am not even joking. That time when I reviewed with him writing, I didn't understand none of that shit until I started recording him. And then I realized he making up his imagination to make it make sense. And the thing is, it's making even sense to me. But that he was writing Russian, Spanish, and English in alphabets. And it was the Russian stuff. I knew it was Russian because I told y'all I caught him. YouTube pushed that on my grandson. Now listen, I'm not against it. I figure if they can learn it, the kids, we should give them all the opportunities to learn. If they looking at videos, you well to give them something to learn. Like, you know what I mean? Something that's fun to them. They got these alphabets that talk and make these quirky sounds and shit. And them kids like that. But listen closely, make sure they're not saying debt to all, because some of them do. Okay. That not the skippity toilet, the Mr. Sun skip what they call it? What do you call it? Forget what it called. Those things be talking debt. It looks like just some crazy faces that's innocent. But the sound, y'all, that these kids picking up on that we don't pick up on. Listen to it. It's one of them was saying, kill, debt to something. And I at first I didn't even hear the sound at all. Like it was at another level where I didn't even hear it. Because they had music playing over it. But then they had words, and I kept seeing the word flash every once in a while. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I started listening, and I said, Licky, what is it saying? And he said it so clear. Licky could hear it very clear. And it was talking about kill, stab, or something. It's supposed to be for kids. What the fuck is going on? Okay. So I told him he can't watch it no more. And then I let him get his way. So I told him he could watch it without the sound. I said, well, turn the sound down. And then he didn't want to watch it no more. So the sound is hypnotic to the kids. So be careful if you got grandkids or kids, young age. Be very careful what comes across. And the thing is, this shit came across on YouTube Kids. It would have been different if it was on my account where I'm an adult. No, that shit shouldn't be on no YouTube Kids. I'm thinking about suing them. Okay. Man, we got to be black people. We need to start suing for fucking everything. I'm suing everybody, okay? And then we don't follow through. But yeah, they need to, YouTube needs to be sued. That shit shouldn't even be on YouTube Kids, okay? Anyway, I'm going, y'all. Hubby gonna be coming up. And I do have some sewing to do, which I haven't done. I do have a shirt to do, though. I got an order for a shirt. And but I don't have any of the fabric yet. I think I might have some white fabric. I'm gonna start on it tomorrow. And yeah, I think she's gonna like. I have a design in my head already that I think she'll like. I'll start on that tomorrow. Um, or Saturday, because she's gonna give hubby the shirt tomorrow. What tomorrow is? Friday. Yeah, I don't be knowing the days of the week. Oh yeah, it is Friday. It will be Friday. Okay. Yeah, her shirt will be done Monday. I'm gonna order. I gotta go order the fabric now. Um, so anybody listen, if y'all want anything custom made for uh Christmas, okay, you gotta get your orders in soon. What am I making? So let me tell you, for you church goers and things like that, for those of you who into church and stuff, I'm gonna be making some things geared to that, which is like the Bible tote and the Bible cover, because I got a couple of orders for that, right? That people put in, but it's for the holiday, so I'm not in a rush to create those. I'm they told me they want one, right? Or and one person told me they wanted three, but they didn't give me no colors or anything. So that's the hard part for me is finding, something because I want to make a lot of it. Because I got orders for two and for five of them. That's definitely sold. Okay. Um, but those are the type of things that sell around Christmas. Um, I don't want it to be Christmas fabric because I don't want it just be for Christmas. So Halloween is here and it's too late for y'all Halloween things. But I am making a Halloween bag made of a pumpkin and it is cute. Okay. When I'm done with it, I may take a picture if I remember to take a picture. Okay. Because I'm trying to put that zip in. The way in my mind, the way I want to put that zip in, I got to see if it gonna work. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay, I'm going, y'all. I'm not making any Halloween things. Unless you would just want a t-shirt or something like that. What's the date? It's too late. 23rd. I think tomorrow will be the last thing I take for Halloween, right? When is Halloween? The last day of the month. Wait, I gotta look at that. Let me see. Because I got a post on Neighborly. Let me see. Oh, I'm in the wrong goddamn year. Sorry. I was still in 2020, 2025. Um, October. Oh, okay. No, I have time. I think if I have to mail something, it shouldn't take no more than 3 days. And Halloween is 31st. So the last day, I gotta write this down. It's the 27th. That I could take an order. No, no, no. 26th. That have me shipping it out on the 27th to make sure they get it. Oh, it's 31 days. 31 days. One. They need to get it no later than the 30th, I would say. Two, one. Yeah, I gotta put this in my 26 is the last day. If it's long distance, but if it's local, yeah, I could take orders up until the 30th. Okay, I'm out. I had fun. I hope y'all had fun too with me rambling, talking bullshit like normal. And what I'm saying is frame of mind, right? Glass half empty, glass half full. It does put its perspective on your life. So if you happen to be the glass half empty type of person, you just gotta shift your thinking to more in the opposition, opposing, so when you think it has full, and then maybe that would, help you with stop thinking that other people are after you when they possibly not. Like I hear it all the time, right? People don't do nothing for nothing. Well, there are a lot of people who do things for quote unquote nothing, depending on what you think nothing is, right? So me giving a compliment to somebody makes me happy. So like it makes me happy. It makes me feel good. So that might be what my return is. It don't have to always be that I'm trying to get something from them, right? Me being nice to people makes me happy. Me being mean to people makes me sad. It really makes me sad. I will do it though. I will be real mean to motherfuckers, but then I don't be happy about it. We got people who believe that everybody wants something for nothing. And I'm not in total disagreement with that. Right? They have people who want something for nothing. But what that got to do with me or you? Like, if you don't deal with those type of people, you don't deal with those type of people. I don't deal with those type of people. So I ain't got nothing to worry about. So I ain't going to be on here saying it all the time. Like, oh, there's a lot of people want something for nothing. I don't know them motherfuckers. I don't know. Once I realize somebody wants something from me, then I need to, like, what you need. And, I make my determination. These speaking in broad is only affecting our community. And when I say our community, I'm talking about not just the Black community, I'm talking about our communities, right? As human beings, it affects us in the negative because everybody is very suspicious of everybody. The women don't trust the men don't trust the women. And the thing is, the men, right, and the women, they're making themselves untrustworthy based on a lot of things you say. Instead of speaking to a particular instance, we speak broadly. So if I say, yeah, um, I'm a gold digger and that's all I want, right? So when men go and believe that I'm a gold digger, it's okay for them to believe I'm a gold digger, but why are they believing that all women are gold diggers, right? And if one man say, yeah, I'm looking for all I want is sex, then I shouldn't push that on everybody. But when it's a lot of men, right? I'm talking about when it's majority of the men who we hear from say they will sleep with anything and all it is sex, then why that's why women believe what they believe. And that's why women would then take the stance of you ain't getting nothing from me for nothing no more. It used to be a time when we thought y'all really cared. Like y'all really cared about us as people. Like you really liked us. Now we find out that you don't like us. See, that's what I mean. The talking points affects how people think. And but it's not unworthy, it's not unprovoked or unreasonable that women will now think you're full of shit when you're telling us that you don't give a damn about us. You just want sex. It was one thing for us to believe it and hear, oh yeah, men want sex, men want sex, men want sex. It's another thing for most of the men to come out and say, yeah, don't be shocked. That's all we say. We don't give a shit about you. We'll put our dick in anything. And now we like, oh shit. So wait a minute. Well, I'm gonna give my vagina only to the men that I like, right? I'm liking you, so I'm giving it to you, but you don't like me because you will give it to anybody. And that's when women pull back, as they should. And now she wants you to prove that you like her, not that you just want to fuck, right? If she just want to fuck, she could go fuck anybody, right? Based on how they looks and shit. But she was interested in a little more than that from you. And here you go, telling everybody all you want to do is fuck. So now she needs you to prove that you want more than just fucking her. And that's gonna be with your time and possibly your money. Okay. When she don't end up with nothing in the end, you done had sex with her and threw her to the side, act like you don't know her, and here she is with nothing. So the women are saying, well, look, um, you you got to act like you care again. So I expect some roses, a purse, change, some clothes, a shopping spree, a good night dinner at this restaurant that I would like to go and eat at. You're going to show me, okay? Because in my head, I'm living in Missouri. Show me, and that is where we are, okay? Men have talked themselves out of something that would have been more reasonable, more decent, and now women are like, no, you're not gonna just use me. I'm not gonna be the one feeling used and abused on the sideline. Yeah, nah, that's your fault. And the other men who not saying that type of shit, that we don't fuck anything. If you're not the one saying that, then you need to shut up the guys who are saying that. Like we need to see some pushback from you. You know what I mean? And then now we'll be like, oh, everybody not like that. But based on what we've seen, it looks like the men are agreeing. Y'all agree that that's all y'all want. Like we all know that the only thing you see on a person from the big jump is their looks or what's visually there, right? Did you know that a lot of people could bypass all that though, right? They could see what's visually there and it's not bad. It may not be great, but it's not bad. Your personality seemed to stand out a little more. That's what we women look for. Um, unless you got money. Unless you got money, she can overlook your bad attitude and everything. If you broke, then your ass better get a better attitude, nigga. I've been waiting to say that all night. Okay, I've been looking for a reason to say nigga all night. Listen, get a better attitude about your goddamn self. Do better. Do better. Okay? Tell it. Yes. And to the women out there who live in your life, your best life, live your best life. Okay? But do think about the future though. Okay? Don't just live it freely. You gotta, because remember, everybody judge. We all judge. People judge us. And the only thing that you could be like, you don't care with how they judge you or you care. Okay. Just know that we all are judged. That's it. Ain't nothing we can do about it. Can't stop it. So everything you do, think about what you're doing. If you're older than 25, think about what you're doing for the future. If you're younger than 25, your ass ain't thinking about nothing but the here and now. Okay. I get it. You good. If you're older than 25, do a goddamn it. Think about everything you do before you do it. That's all. That's it. And I'm gone. Okay. People be mad at me because I don't tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm only here to give you different perspectives, different viewpoints, different ways of thinking. I am not here to tell you what to do. I would not do that to you. I ain't want nobody doing that to me, and I'm not gonna do it to you. Okay? Uh, because I may ruin your life, and I'm not gonna be held responsible for fucking up your whole life. I'm not gonna do it. Um, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't want nobody to fuck up my life. I won't fuck up your life. Okay? If you're looking for a husband though, hit me up. If you're really looking for a husband, for real, you're looking, you know, it might be, I don't know if I can find the men for you, but I can tell you if you get access to a man and you want to be married, it's not that difficult. Okay? It's not that difficult. Unless you go on in these spaces. Oh, and by the way, I did want to say this because somebody said it. I don't know where it was. It may not even have been in this space. Somebody was mad because they said once they start changing certain things, they uh dating pool change, got smaller. And they said it like that was negative. They were like, yeah, once I did this, dating pool got smaller. And I'm like, yeah, isn't that what you're looking for? Who wants a big, wide open dating pool? Like, unless you're just looking just to date. Like, if all you're looking for is just a date, then you can have, well, everybody could be in your dating pool. Women, men, all kinds of motherfuckers could be in your dating pool. Fish, dogs, animals, everything. But if you're looking for uh, a dating pool where you would end up with someone who you feel you vibing with, who you can rock with for marriage or whatever, right? Then you want that pool to be small, right? You want that pool to be small so you can work out if it's 5 men in that pool, you can figure out from the 5 men which the best one for you. But if you got 800 men in that pool, um, yeah, I don't think you would want that. Now, if you just looking to date and shit like that, just to have fun out here, yeah, I guess the large dating pool. But just know the larger the dating pool is because you didn't limit it due to your expectations and things like that, meaning you're gonna get everything, all types of men, all types of people who some believe what you believe, some don't. You know what I mean? And you're gonna go through a lot of hardship with motherfuckers who you don't even vibe with. So I thought that's what people wanted. You wanna narrow your dating pool down to what it is you really want, and those will be the only people you want to deal with because they have what you want in personality or whatever, right? Just like the women who only want the men who make certain amount of money. What I would suggest is first, in order to ensure that that's true, you need his bank statement or something, bank statement or what that is you get every time you get a paycheck stub. What that thing called? You can tell I ain't worked in a long time. Goddamn, pay stub. You probably know. I used to not bad. Hubby must be mad at me, y'all. I gotta go. He ain't bring me no ice, y'all, and he ain't bring me no soda, and he ain't bring me nothing. So he must be mad. It's okay. I'm gonna go take care of him. Okay. Go where my stuff at, babe. You ain't bring it up. That means something going on. Nothing wrong with it. I may have not done something. Or I may have done something. Oh, okay. Well, I ain't get no ice. I ain't get no soda. What you ate? Oh, yeah, I'm good. Who fell asleep? Oh, you? Oh, okay. No, we have to have a sandwich, babe. I'm on the problem. Okay. Okay, y'all gotta go. Go and talk to hubby. Bye. See y'all later.